Today's video is brought to you by the subscribe button. Use code HITTHEBIGASS button that says subscribe on it to get a free subscription to this channel, so you can see what nonsense I post next. The goal for every NFL player is to win a Super Bowl. But for a lot of rookies, once they see the teams that draft them, that goal is gone in year one. So instead, Rookie of the Year becomes the primary goal. So out of the hundreds of rookies drafted, and the 100 more undrafted, who wins? Here's everything you need to know when betting the Offensive Rookie of the Year market, and my favorite picks to win. Since 2000, the award has been won by a quarterback 11 times, while running backs have won it 9 times, and wide receivers only 5 times. A lineman has never won the award, so you can immediately take them out, and a tight end has never won the award either, but with the evolution of the tight end play style, I think there's a very small path for one to win, but it'd have to be a special year for a player at that position. An undrafted rookie has never won the award either, so that shortens the list even more. In fact, of the 25 winners since 2000, 18 of them have been first-round picks and 4 second-rounders. So if you weren't drafted early, it's a tough road to win Rookie of the Year. So who do you bet on this year? The obvious choices are the favorites. Cam Ward, Ashton Genty, and Travis Hunter all have good paths to winning, but because of that they have terrible odds. So I'm going to give you 4 guys that I think have just as good of a chance of winning, but with significantly better odds, and one guy that no one is talking about. And the first guy is Tyler Shough. Shough was the 3rd quarterback out of the draft taken by the Saints and is most likely going to be their day 1 starter. His college career was split between Oregon, Texas Tech, and Louisville, where he finished his career and really elevated to another level. Putting up over 3,100 passing yards with 23 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions, along with turning heads in the Senior Bowl practices, many saw him as a guy that could develop well into a starter. Now with the Saints, that development will have to be quick. His only competition for the starting job is Spencer Rattler, who after last year's play will not get much love from many in New Orleans, so the job is essentially Shough's to lose. He does have some durability concerns though, and he's already 25 years old, so there are some questions with Shough with his developmental ceiling as well. He's also on a Saints team that has been terrible in recent years, even with weapons on the offense. I do think the positives outweigh the negatives for Shough, and if they do suck as much as last year, that could potentially boost Shough's numbers for a push at the end of the season. I'm betting on the Saints to find something this year though, and for Shough to be a key part of that. The second guy I'm betting on is Will Howard. Another quarterback, Howard was drafted by the Steelers after spending his last year of college at Ohio State, where he won the national championship and MVP for the game. Putting up over 4,000 passing yards and 35 touchdowns last season, he showed NFL teams how productive he could be, but his lack of quickness and questions about his throwing between the numbers led him to drop to round 6 of the draft. Being on the Steelers could be a great chance for him to shine though. They have plenty of weapons for him to throw to, a run game that should be above average, and a coaching staff that should help him learn quickly. The only issues for Howard are his offensive line is questionable, as they had a pretty tough year last year, but some of that was due to injuries. And the more glaring issue, that the Steelers signed Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is the clear starter going into the season, but at 41 years old, there's no telling if he's going to make it through the entire year. If Rodgers were to get injured early, or even potentially get benched, Howard could be the guy to step in and show up for a Steelers team desperate to find the glory of the past. Bet number 3 is on Trey Harris. The receiver picked up in the 2nd round by the Chargers should be in a good spot to produce right away. In his 2 years at Ole Miss, he had over 2,000 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns and picked up another 1,400 yards at Louisiana Tech before that. Said to be an elite ball tracker with great hands, Harris is dangerous when it comes to both deep and intermediate routes and is also physical in the red zone that could get him some extra touchdown looks. There's still parts of his game that needs to be shored up, like expanding his route tree, but with his main competition in LA being Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston, he should have plenty of opportunities, especially on deep balls that could boost his touchdown numbers, putting him directly in the middle of the Rookie of the Year conversation. Next up is RJ Harvey. The running back spent 4 years at UCF before he was drafted by the Broncos and is currently listed as running back 1. His main competition in the backfield will be J.K. Dobbins, who has a history of injuries in his career. So at the least, it should be a running back committee for the Broncos this year, but Harvey could easily become a bulk of the rushing attack. His last 2 years of college, he ran for over 1,400 yards and had a combined 38 touchdowns, proving he can be a solid back, even though many see him as undersized at 5'8". His receiving game doesn't pop much, which could be an issue to get into the conversation, but if he could get a good rapport with Bo Nix, he could be a good drop-down option that would inflate his numbers. In a time where there's a few teams only using one running back, I think Harvey has one of the best shots at shining this year, and he's a great bet at 20-1. And now for the long shot, Tommy Mellott. A guy no one is talking about, being a late 6th-round pick by the Raiders, and on top of that being moved to receiver from quarterback where he played the majority of his college career. But don't let that fool you. He had a great career at Montana State, making the FCS playoffs all 4 years he was there, and making the championship game twice, including last year before losing both times to North Dakota State. He threw for over 6,000 yards and 55 touchdowns, alongside 3,500 rushing yards and another 43 touchdowns. His athleticism shows up more than his QB skills, which is why the move to receiver was made by the Raiders, but I actually think this helps Mellott a lot. He would have been QB3 at best, but at receiver he's 4th on the depth chart, as well as the primary return man as of right now. Also, being a college quarterback, he could find himself in passing situations this year on either trick plays, certain offensive sets, or if the injury bug hits the Raiders. If Mellott finds himself with receiving touchdowns, a few passing touchdowns, and a couple of good returns, he could find himself right in the middle of the Rookie of the Year conversation. And at 250-1, I think he just has too much upside not to take him. At the end of the day, with future bets, you're looking for value. There's no sense in tying up a bunch of money through the entire season on bets that are even money when you can get longer odds that have almost as better of a chance. So when betting on future bets, have fun with it. The next video I'll be doing will be the Defensive Rookie of the Year picks, so keep an eye out for that one. And make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons for me, because it really helps me grow my channel.